I do want to definitely speak in favor of this settlement. Unfortunately, after having this long presentation on tourism, we know that Portland also gets international attention for the United States versus the city of Portland for police excess, and that when we talk about Judge Ann Aiken, other federal judges are having difficulties with the United States Attorney's case against us and our inability to convince legal experts that we're serious about protecting citizens, particularly citizens with mental illness. It was interesting to note that the alleged or claiming victim in this case, I don't know if there was pre-existing PTSD, but there certainly is now. So he's a person with mental illness at risk from further abuse from the police. The other problem we have is that recently, although I prefer the journalist seated over to my right, it was the Oregonian, which talked about the inability of this council and the city attorney to clearly communicate about settlements involving police who have been alleged to have Nazi favoritisms. So there needs to be accountability, and needs to go on the record right now that we're not getting to where we want to go at helping the police be good public servants. Having to transfer $110,000 of taxpayer money to the victim of the police is sad, but reading in the Oregonian that there's incomplete communication between the office of the mayor and the city attorney about how we deal with police misconduct when now Captain Mark Kruger, who was investigated for, I'm not going to call him a neo-Nazi, I don't know his personal politics, but he's a public servant who made an idiotic, stupid, hurtful decision about displaying Third Reich materials. And this council has failed to implement proper accountability, show proper respect for African Americans and Jewish Americans and all Americans in this city. So when we look at this $110,000 going to a citizen, that's certainly better than the $5,000 that went to Mr. Kruger. Thank you.
Just a quick check. I think you mentioned Mr. Collins' claim about post-traumatic stress disorder. I believe that was after the incident. I don't believe there was any claim that he was in any way suffering from mental illness, which is the subject of the U.S. Department of Justice settlement proposal with the city of Portland. So I think we've got to make sure we've got the sequence correct here, which is that the issue of psychological effect in this case came after the bar fight, not before. Did I get that right, Jim? That's correct. So there was no pre-existing condition identified in the record involving the subject of the U.S. Department of Justice investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And it's unfortunate that he does now have PTSD, and I hope that his attorney has created an arrangement where he'll get proper care for the stress inflicted by being brutalized by the police. And I also want to thank you, Mayor, for paying attention to my whole remarks and addressing that issue, and continuing to work hard to either get Chief Reese or his replacement to help us get our police to be the best they can be. Thank you.